Good morning. Been up since 2 a.m. How about you, John?
Same.
Crazy. You did the strong women?
The CrossFit was first. The strong women are in 30 minutes. So you got me for 30 minutes, and then I got to go over there.
Oh, you the man. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have Mr. Spin on the show.
What's up?
God, you guys are saviors this morning. God, you guys are saviors.
I mean, we've already been up for an hour and a half, so might as well.
Leaderboards are not yet updated. Tia Toomey won and Ricky Garrard won. I think Gabby's still going to be holding second place.
Yeah, Gabby's going to have it's going to be about 40 points.
And
40 or 30 points. Still a lot more than you think.
Oh, good. Okay. And Dallin Pepper almost didn't help Ricky Garrard out there.
Oh, he saw it the whole time. I have a feeling Dallin was perfectly in control.
Yeah, but he almost walked across that finish line, and Dallin or Adler almost caught him.
That's what I'm referencing. 0.3 of a second. How come I was looking at the camera angles. I didn't see Adler look at Dallin's rower once. Not once.
Well, they can see, like, on the monitor, you can see who's in front of you and who's behind you. And I think it's like a split.
I think
what do you mean on the monitor? You mean up high somewhere he's looking?
No, the rowing monitor. So when you're in your competition mode, the bottom has who's ahead of you and who's behind you.
Okay.
Like a split, so you can see how many seconds or meters they're ahead or behind you.
And how come then? Because I saw Dallin kept looking at Adler's monitor. He didn't know that maybe that hey, you can just look at your.
You may want to look at the pace because you don't see all the. You just see one little.
Okay.
You see how far ahead or behind they are, but you don't see all the details.
That gives that's going to bring give an extra 10 points to Ricky. It's 5 points per place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeff will have a 40-point lead on first place, and then Dallin will be in third place by 10 points.
Well, right now, okay, because right now he has a 50-point lead, and that'll close the gap by 10 points.
Mm-hmm. And then it's either Chandler or Vellner. Probably Chandler is in fourth place, and then Hopper's going to drop a bit. Hopper's going to be, maybe 10th.
Yeah.
9th. He'll climb back up, but like this was bad.
I heard Sean say that Hopper's taken 7th place every year.
He has.
He's been at the Rogue Invitational.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, John, you were 100% correct. Although Taylor Williamson was the first one to the bar muscle ups, just completely imploded.
Yeah, if you don't have experience on the log, it's a different beast. They all had a hard time adapting to it the first time they brought it out. So I just wouldn't pick somebody who's not seen it before.
Any surprises? Haley Adams was absolutely struggling on it.
But she also had not seen it before. I was surprised she struggled more than Taylor Williamson
saw it 2 years ago, right?
No, she was 2021. She wasn't in 2022 or 2023. Okay.
Wouldn't that be the benefits of going to the camps, especially somewhere like Mayhem? You would think that they had those logs there.
I don't know. Even JR only had a log like last week
for a day.
And JR's on top of everything like that.
You don't think I would just think that Rich would text him right away after the first time you see that, text Bill or Katie and be like, hey, can I get one of those?
Maybe, but I also think you're never going to see that except for at Rogue. They're not going to do it at the games. They're not going to do that at Wadapalooza. Rogue's the only place you're going to do it.
You could see thicker bars else places though. Other places, like the pegboards. I know it's a little different. You're saying that's the only place you would see that, but soon as pegboards were shown once, I bet you Rogue sold 10,000 pegboards.
But they don't sell those logs. I don't even think that Bill or Katie would make one and just give it to Rich.
Oh, interesting. So that's just a completely unique implement to.
Yeah, they're not making. They're not making all of their specialty equipment and selling them or giving them to everybody.
Well, they should be. Hey, do you think that helps with training? You think if you run a camp, even if something like that is only going to be seen once a year, and only once a year, but at the second biggest competition in the space with hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, you think that that it's just smart to have it. I just can't believe that they don't have one of those at Mayhem.
I think there's probably some value to it to have it, but
I think if you don't plan on going to road, there's no value in having it
at all.
You don't think it's just as even as accessory work? It's just a good way.
No, you could have it as a toy, sure.
But I don't think you have a rig full of these things, but you have like JR has. He has one, and you just go if you are going to make it or you think you are, like, go try it out.
Let me give a parallel to it. So if you run a training camp, you'd think you'd have rings there with different length straps. You'd have 10-foot long straps. You'd have straps that are, just 3 feet. So that, because you are a training camp and you would want all the tools.
Muscle-ups in every competition you do, you're going to see log muscle-ups in one competition, and you have to be one of the 20 fittest people in the world to even make that competition.
Who do you think does have one of those? You think Proven's got one of those?
I think JR is the only person who has one of those.
Yeah.
And how did he get it?
The guy made it.
He made it, yeah.
A custom one for him.
Yeah, the guy that I think put together the horizontal pegboards also built the log.
So, Matthew says that they have them at Mayhem.
Oh, they got it last year. Okay, so there's no excuse for Haley
or Taylor.
Well, Haley was only there for a little bit.
That is do you think that's a technique driven implement, meaning even if she only had a couple months to get it, there's no excuse that she's flailing on him? The Adrian Conway was saying that basically her problem was her approach to it, meaning he was pointing out that Ariel Lowen, when she jumped on it, was jumping further back from it instead of straight up onto it.
I think the people who have the stricter muscle ups all did much better on it. If you look at the people who have that big swing, it's much harder. I mean, the Wales girls were both bad at them.
You mean because then your hand would roll underneath it instead of staying on top of it?
Probably it's like a false grip type deal for sure. But like if you look at Kazan's muscle ups, they're a little bit strict, like a little bit of a stricter kip. Ricky would keep his legs bent the whole time. He would kip like a calisthenic muscle up. It wouldn't even look like he was doing a CrossFit muscle up. And he was the best one at them by far. And
better than BKG?
Yeah.
Yeah. BKG is pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
And what about the grips? I noticed Noah and Yona using grips. I almost thought that the only reason why you would use grips is if somehow you put something sticky underneath them.
I don't think that's the best for it. I mean, Tyler was asking about, like, does Frog Grips make something that's for this log? I don't think it's
called log grips.
Would you use grips? Would either of you use grips?
No, I would just use my hands.
Yeah, I think it can kind of almost like the fabric or whatever kind of interferes with your grip and it's going to be thicker too on top of it.
And the other thing was, as I was noticing how much people would chalk up, I would think the play would be the opposite of chalk. You'd spit on your hands. I mean, obviously you don't want to tear. But have you ever climbed a steel pole like at the playground and you can't get any purchase on it, and you spit on your hands and spit on your feet and you just go straight up?
I honestly think the way Justin was doing it, it's the best way.
Just onesies.
Yeah, I mean, like Ricky's the best one at them, but like Justin had 2 risers. He didn't need 2 risers. But so he could put both his hands on it before he did anything. You're not going to rip if you put your hands. If you're not jumping and grabbing it, you're not going to rip. You know what I'm saying? So he would put both of his hands on it and then lean into it and then just do one at a time. But he would always lean into it with his feet on the ground. His feet would start on the ground and then he would lean into that kip. I think that's the best way to do the log muscle ups efficiently without ripping, saving your energy. Obviously, if you have somebody like Ricky who can just string together 5 in a row and just like that guy's going to beat you. But you're going to beat everybody that doesn't have that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I also thought that the jumping up and jumping down was probably fatiguing athletes in a way that a lot of people probably couldn't recognize or couldn't see. The 30 jumps up to it and then the 30 jumps down, bracing yourself, landing, the little bit of extra effort that each one of those took, more the jumping down than the jumping up.
Yeah. I mean, like Tyler said when we were watching it raises your heart rate if you're doing that over and over and over again.
Any big surprises from the women?
Gabby being as bad as she was, she only was 8th place, but she was the first one to the logs, and it looked real rough for a second.
What about Maddie Sturt's performance? She did pretty damn good.
She did great.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, Pedro?
Good. I stole a cup.
It looks beautiful there. Oh, you weren't supposed to take that off the desk?
I don't think so, but it's in my hand.
How are things going? What's the news there on the front? How's the crowd? It looked actually more empty than yesterday.
I think so. There's I don't know how to show you that. So like down there, under that kind of roof is where the crowd comes in. So when I was going in, there was like just a shit ton of people in the queue. So in the line, sorry. So I think the issue was that the security were slow at getting people in, so it filled up as it went on. But it was at one point during the women's like first heat, the announcer said, oh, come on, Aberdeen, you're being quiet. And it was only then that I noticed, like, shit, it is actually kind of quiet. But as soon as he said it, the crowd erupted and it was properly loud. So I think it gradually started filling up more and more from there on.
And have you had a chance to talk to any of the athletes? Has your access changed at all?
No. So I had to show my passport because I showed a copy of it, like an email of it yesterday to pick up my pass. And they said, oh, come back and show us your passport, the actual passport. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll do that, thinking I'm not fucking doing that. But then I saw the Talking Elite got into the cool down area. So I was like, well, fuck, I will go back and show it and ask what the story is with that. And when I got there, someone else was asking what was happening. And they were told that if you ask an athlete as they're leaving the floor and then tell a steward and then go to the media area, when the athlete is finished cooling down, they'll bring that athlete over to cool. I was like, oh, fuck that. Like, I'm not, that's just such an inconvenience for the athlete. Like, say, hey, can you cool down and then go over there and I'll meet you over there in 10. I was like, no, just screw it. So my aim is to try and catch up with someone maybe at the hotel next door. Before the next workout or whatever. I missed that whole last workout because I was doing the tailgate thing. As in I missed access, I missed like potential talking and stuff. But yeah, it's strict, which I mean it's their right. I mean they want to control what comes out and make it valuable for their partners and stuff, so I get it.
More is better. More is better.
I guess I did blank Katie apparently, so maybe I shot myself in the foot.
Hey, I think they had a similar thing going on at the games this year. They tried to do that. By the time we got to the final day, they kind of opened the floodgates for the media. But in the beginning, weren't they trying to do that also? Spin. They were trying to make it so if you wanted to talk to an athlete, they would get them and you would meet them over somewhere. And it is. I agree with you, Pedro. It is a little weird to put that request in because you almost feel bad. Like, hey, they have downtime.
Like such a dick. Like hey, sorry, can I just take like 15? It's like just stop here for 10 minutes and I'll talk to you. But as soon as you stop them, the athlete control usher them away. So you literally get like 5 words as they're leaving the field. Like the only person I really want to talk to is Dallin because I'm kind of trying to follow him. And I was talking to him yesterday and the athlete control guy was basically pushing him as I was talking to him. And I was like, all right, this isn't ideal. So yeah, I don't know. It's tricky.
Any news you're hearing about Sprague, how he's doing, his pneumonia? Have any athletes pulled out? Any updates on any of these guys?
No, nothing. Apparently, Jan is feeling fine. He was disappointed with yesterday. There was no reason for him not doing well. He anticipated he would do well in the ring muscle up workout and didn't, and that was a major disappointment for him and Yami and whatever else. But there's no reason for him not to be performing, as in he doesn't have any niggles, there's no problem, so there's no explanation there. The others haven't heard anything about Sprague, haven't heard anything about anybody, anything negative about anybody at all, really. I did hear, and it's becoming more and more concrete as the weekend goes on, I did hear a rumor about someone potentially leaving their camp and joining another camp. I did hear that Ricky Garrard might potentially be changing
Are we supposed to say this?
I mean, I haven't been
We
told
just
anything
did.
in
Before you start
confidence.
saying it,
I haven't been
Hey,
told anything in
Take it back,
confidence.
Pedro. Take it back.
Pedro, do you see who's coaching him? Is Kotler coaching him?
Cotler's here.
Mhm.
Cotler's coaching him and Alex Kazan. But there's just been some things that have been noticed and seen, and it just seems like, especially if you've, I think, been paying attention for the last few months, it kind of seems like maybe there's a change coming on Ricky's horizon. So nothing has actually specifically been said, but I was told when I asked someone about it that things will be pretty clear after Rogue.
so you're telling me Colton's gonna have a great training partner.
Pedro, tell us who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Also, Proven has its roots obviously in
You like that? You like that spit?
That's good.
what? Tell me.
Ricky's going to develop a like for wieners.
Every new member at Proven gets a free dog. Proven has its roots obviously in Australia with Tia Toomey. It seems like it would be a good match.
Well, I mean, Tia's showing no signs of the last games being her last games. Like there's been never been any mention, nothing about like I'm done, I'm finished, this is my last whatever, like, victory lap, blah blah. I mean, looks like she could go for another 15 years, no problem. Like she's like just a different animal.
God, I hope not.
She had she had Matt, who was like at her level and pushing her.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I mean, how good would Ricky be to push her, and how good would he be to train, have like little training camps with, and when she go, like, because she's spending more and more time in Australia now during the season or during the year, like with Willow's a bit older, easier to travel with and stuff. I mean, they were just in Australia and Ricky was with them up at I think they call it the ranch as well, up there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and they spent like I think 6 or 7 days together. Jay and Maddie are there too, so that would be, and they live in Australia full time, not too far from Ricky either. So they're all positives for him, because I mean there's only so much you can do on your own, and training on your own, and that's what Ricky's been doing for a long time. It's very isolated, I guess.
You also have Gracie out there.
Yeah.
No, they got a monopoly on the Australians, don't they? Once Ricky goes,
Yeah.
if Ricky goes.
Almost.
Hey, John, you're standing next to a guy at the urinal. He looks over at you and says, "Hey, who's the second best male CrossFitter alive right now? Who do you say?"
Oh shoot, this probably Dallin Pepper.
Okay, not Ricky Garrard.
Who's the best then?
I mean, I think Adler's the best, and I think Ricky Garrard's the second best CrossFitter in the world. But Dallon's not. I mean, Dallon's a great pick here.
Here's my thing with Ricky. I put all the faith in Ricky all year last year. The entire year, I said Ricky Garrard was going to win the CrossFit Games, and then it was the cardio games, and he got hurt. I get it, but Ricky's just let me down a lot. And like I'm with Ricky, I'm at the point where I'm not going to have faith in him until he kind of proves that he can do it again.
Would you say that
go ahead, Peter.
The things that have led to Ricky letting you down have been, pacing things and decisions within workouts and that kind of stuff? Is that the things that hold him back, do you think? Because I mean, that's the type of thing that could massively improve now in the next few months potentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to pick because he's got all the ability in the world, but he just gets hurt, or he misses the games because he can't get off a bike, or it's just always something. Something always happens. Like
I did hear someone told me, this isn't a direct quote, so don't attribute it to Ricky, but somebody told me that it was said after that camp at the ranch that Ricky learned more that he thought was possible in that like 6 or 7 day period. That he was blown away by the small little details and stuff that he'd been overlooking and hadn't been putting into place. So, I mean, if that's anything to go by, you can imagine and you saw him in that workout, if he can piece that together with intelligence across different workouts and decision-making and all that kind of stuff, it could be a different animal altogether.
Do you know whose athlete he would be?
I would guess Shane's.
Oh, so Shane would just have him and Tia?
I would guess so.
Okay.
I mean, that's been the thing. They don't have a guy at that level. No disrespect to Colton, but they don't have a guy at that level.
Or Jay.
And they're not going to take another girl to train alongside. Do you know what I mean? So like,
well, there's not really a girl at that level either.
Well,
yeah, I don't think there's another human at that level. But
hey, Maddie Sturt looks absolutely amazing, and I can see from. You don't think so, John? That
She's not Ricky.
I'm not suggesting she's Ricky or even close to Tia, but she's not the Maddie she was. I mean, she's been in the game for a long time. She went to the game games 3 consecutive years, then missed 3 years, and now she's back. Where you think it would be, you'd think maybe she faded, but instead she's gotten better. I mean, she's looking strong. She did great in that last workout.
Yeah, no, she looks like she's the fittest she's ever been.
Okay, I like that, and then I can meet you there, and then we kind of got to. I would attribute that to being side by side with Jay and Tia.
Well, I mean, she's been with Jay for a while.
Okay, so Tia.
Yeah, but right? I think we saw. I think it was last year training for semifinals, and they were doing some type of yoke workout, and I was shocked that Maddie didn't understand or know how to do something, and Tia just had to explain it to her. So I think, again, it kind of goes to Pedro's point. Like, I think Tia, Shane, that group has a lot of just great knowledge and information that maybe other places don't.
The leaderboard has not been updated. Make sure for the next 48 hours, Born Primitive, the QR code is above John Young's head. Make sure you go over to Born Primitive. They've already donated $2.5 million, and they're going to donate all the profits in the next 48 hours, which they're hoping will be another $2.5 million to pay for hospital bills for U.S. military that hasn't been able to acquire the funds elsewhere. They have 2 new great shoes. I think they're the best shoes for anything, for just wearing day to day and training. And so go over there and check it out, the Savage Ones.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Shop the new Freedom Capsule at bornprimitive.com.
There are some very strong rumors that John Young will be wearing the Savage Ones in competition at the Grid League. Just rumors.
Hey, I mean, that's a bigger rumor than Ricky. We can't be talking about that, Stefan.
Gotcha. Understood. Okay. Anything else over there, Pedro? Have any athletes pulled out?
No, not that I've seen. I guess I'm only seeing what the people in the crowd are seeing, to be honest. I'm not like back behind the curtain able to lift the veil or anything. But I haven't heard anything, or I haven't been told anything. Nothing drastic. Yeah.
I wear my Savage Ones every day while coaching 8+ hours a day on my feet. Very comfortable. Yeah, they're great shoes. They're the best looking shoes right now. They're a hot commodity. It is going to be hard to get a pair of those, the 2 new versions that just came out. Any talk? Do we have any idea what Event 6 is yet?
No, it's surely a big lift anyway, isn't it?
Well, it's 4 heats of 5 minutes. So the we think it's going to be just like a speed, like either a ladder or a speed strength medley, something like that. But 5-minute heats of 4 heats of 5 minutes apiece. That doesn't lead to a max out, but something heavy, something fast.
Harry, I don't know about the Nano 10s, but they're basically they're just a better version of the Nano 2s. They're the Nano 2s with a better tongue and but the same wide toe box. Melissa Croucher, Bailey Martin mentioning also a good point. Bailey Martin is also over there at Proven.
Yeah, with Kiefer, yeah.
And it does appear that Bailey and Ricky are friends.
Bailey's in New Zealand, though, right?
Yeah, Bailey's New Zealand.
Yeah, don't.
No.
Don't get those people confused.
Is there a bridge between those two islands?
There is not.
No
But
bridge.
it's a short swim. Ricky can't make it, but Grace could.
Pedro, how's the weather there? What's it doing there? Is it cold? Or are you wearing shorts again today?
No, it's really fucking cold. Like my fingers holding the phone are starting to hurt a little bit. It's properly cold. Not like minus anything, but it's cold. It's a bit drizzly, a bit misty. There's the airplane. Yeah.
David Weed, same shit. David, we're not talking about the prostitutes you visit every night. We're talking about shoes. We know you have no
he probably just calls her mom.
We know you have no discretion who you sleep with. Pedro, yeah.
Nobody likes you, David.
That's a little hard. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's not true.
I don't like you, David.
More accurate.
Are you guys surprised at how many athletes got time capped on this?
Yeah.
I did not have a good feel for how many athletes are in the time capped.
Judging by it, I don't think Josh or Spieler did either, because it's a shit ton of people didn't finish it.
The
five women finished it. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, and only like 6 men. Like,
that's crazy.
The second I saw Alex was the only, like, when we didn't know it was on a 16-minute time cap, and then like they just stopped, and Alex was the only one, and we were talking about how many men were going to finish. I'm like, I think it's going to be kind of the same. 30 log muscle ups that's going to fit that difference in the row for sure. But hey, Sevon, we have a little bit of important stuff going on right now. The strong women are about to start, so me and Spin need to jump off. Do you want to jump on with us?
Possibly. Let me just say one thing about the strong women.
I would love to.
Let me say one thing about strong women before you guys leave.
Do I want to be on here for this or?
Probably not. I don't know what that is promoting. You know, motorcycle racing is dangerous. Free rock climbing, the face of fucking Half Dome, is dangerous. But the amount of drugs that it appears that have morphed these women into something that doesn't make them women anymore. It's almost like you know those that plastic surgery you see, like where someone will get like boobs that are this big and have their face turned into look like a cat. It's giving me that like feel. There is a I don't know. After watching yesterday's show, I thought I would have. For some reason, by no means am I suggesting it at all. People still do what they want.
Stefan, I think there's some kind of a super smart strong woman because they're tuning you out right now. Your volume just went out.
How's that better?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now.
It's reached the amount of drug. It's almost like it's a drug promo. Or maybe a reason not to do drugs. Like, hey, if you're a woman and you're thinking about doing drugs, watch Strong Woman. I don't think that there's any recovery. It just looks so it looks so bad for you. It looks so bad for you. I almost feel like it shouldn't be
Are you saying for their health?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I almost wouldn't want to promote it. It's like I'm promoting something bad. It is bizarre. It's freakish. It's fetish. It's fetish shit. It's just completely bizarre and fetish.
To be fair, I don't think any of them would say it's healthy either.
What's in smelling salts?
I don't know, but Hannah Lindsay thinks it's crack cocaine.
Some of them love it.
The most.
I was like that. Yesterday, I was like, all right, that chick is gonna eat that. She's gonna drink or whatever, like inhale that vial that she had. She was. Man, it was like, I don't know, bottled perfume from her mother or something as a child. She was like, oh, God, I love this so much. It's fucking weird.
No, if she doesn't make her nose bleed, she's failed the event. She doesn't care how she does in the event as long as her nose bleeds.
Ammonia. Is ammonia not piss? Is that not urine? Like ammonia, no?
I think it is.
So if they're smelling piss.
Hockey players, we use it always before jumping in the rink. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Leaderboard was not updated. Thank you. I'm going to talk about, if you guys need to go, I'm going to go ahead and preview event 4. 5.
All right.
Event 5. All right.
Talk to you later, guys.
Bye. Yeah, I started processing what I was seeing yesterday, and I was like, man, oh man, this is I wouldn't wish that journey on anyone. I don't know how you recover from getting on whatever it takes to be a strong woman at this level. Would you all call these strong women athletes? Yeah, I would call them athletes. I definitely think they're athletes. I think what they're doing is athletic, and it requires technique and training and movement. But shit, I mean, if I had a daughter, I'd rather have her do fucking high-speed motorcycle racing, motocross, or the Isle of Man before I'd rather have her do what it takes to do strong women at this level. I mean, it is. They don't even look human to me. It looks like fetish shit. It's so freakish and fringe. I mean, literally, it reminds me of the that weird plastic surgery that some people get, just completely over the top, bizarro world. Event number 5 will be coming up later today. It's a close race, both on the men's and women's side, still open. 3 rope climbs. And then the devil's press, which is the burpee, and then keeping the 100-pound dumbbell in your hand for the men, 70 for the women, and then 3 rope climbs, and then 21 single arm devil presses again, and then 3 more rope climbs. It's going to be a fast one. All the workouts have been great. We don't know what event 6 is yet. John was saying that the heats are 5 minutes long each. No, Sean, Olga is not hot. That is not correct. That is not correct. There's something like this, what Evel Knievel did wasn't a sport, or like what some of the Red Bull athletes do isn't necessarily a sport. Evel Knievel would try to jump over the Grand Canyon. And it's just a one-off freak show. That's what this thing seems to me. It does not seem like I'm watching it now on the screen. It does not seem like a sport to me. It's like a one-off freak show. It's like, hey, how much drugs can you take, and watch what they do to the body. And I don't think these women recover from this in a way that you could recover from motorcycle racing, but you could not recover from a motorcycle accident. And I'm not saying it, and I'm not trying to disparage it at all. Yeah, the makeup is pointless. At the point you've taken that much drugs, the makeup is pointless. It's like it would be like the makeup is like if you were a motocross racer and you put pink tassels coming out of the handlebars of your motorcycle. That's what the makeup is on a strong woman. It's just pointless. Hey, Sevon, you'd recommend the Mac Mini? Yes, I would. It's funny you mentioned that. I was actually at 2:15 this morning. I was kind of like peeking at those. I mean, I would get it fully loaded. I think all the new processing I think that all the new chips and all the Macs are outstanding. Let me see if I can refresh. I would really like to look at the leaderboard with you guys before we go. No update. All right. So Strong Woman's going on. They're commentating on it over at the Spin. I was hoping we could get Dallin on. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. Someone just sent us a picture of Peter on the show, a still frame. Let me see. Maybe JR's coming on. I'll be coaching for the first 2, but can probably come on after the last one this afternoon. Okay. So we'll get JR for the final show, the closing show. It is crazy getting up at this early. Also later on today, UFC's on 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The main card starts. Sevon is John Young's sacrificial lamb this time. I can't believe I've been putting makeup on this heifer. Yeah, something like that. I mean, there's a makeup seems like something to, I don't know, feminize something, to highlight the femininity of it. And there's absolutely nothing feminine about strong woman. I mean, it truly is. Yeah, it's wild. I would not sit around with my daughter. And watch this sport. This wouldn't be something I would want her to be influenced by at all. I wouldn't want her to have strong woman aspirations. I mean, you could say the same thing about. I mean, I would say the same thing about male bodybuilding for sure. At the highest level. I mean, what's the point? I don't know. I'm not suggesting it's not fitness, but it's fitness for drug addicts. I mean, it's got that total drug addict fitness component. I think ultra marathon runners probably bounce back better. I just don't. Can you think of another sport where you don't bounce back as much as strong women? I mean, I would even say a long boxing career that gives you CTE, you bounce back better than these strong women are going to bounce back. You just can't do the night shows and wake up at 4 a.m. I mean, I woke up at 2 a.m. I played poker last night with my kids until 9 and then went to bed. Yeah, I think WWE is healthier than strong women. There's something macabre about strong women. There's something a little depressing about it. Like almost like you're in denial. Like going to an AA meeting and people are drinking there. I'm trying to be objective about it. I'm not suggesting that there's anything that's not athletic, that's not strong, that's not attractive. It's just the absolute toll it's taken on these women's bodies. I mean, they look completely ravaged. Yeah, sumo wrestling, even for the men, that's a good one, Seema. Good job. Yeah, like sumo wrestling. Sumo wrestling's kind of vile too. You're asking these men to get so big that their bodies will never bounce back. They're permanently fucking damaging the frame of their car. For what? For a fucking 5-year run at something? Yeah, I'm not suggesting that they are in it for health reasons. Not even. He says Clooney says they aren't in it for health reasons. Yeah, I'm not suggesting that they are. But you know what it's like to me. Strong woman is like a TikTok when those kids supposedly were eating Tide Pods to get views and attention. It's like eating Tide Pods to me. Setting the world record for how many Tide Pods you can eat and still be alive. How many? If I jump out of an airplane at 30,000 feet, how many Tide Pods can I eat before I pull my chute? I mean, it's like that. I mean, it really is to me at that level. High level ballet, the complete opposite. The limit they take to be small has a permanent impact. Sure. Yeah, like in any career, those careers that cause you to be just in constant caloric deficit, those sports. I mean, we had Charlie Lawrence on. He's at the world record for a 50-mile run, and at one point he said he had a fracture, and I knew it was from under eating. That's how those runners, those super high level runners, end up breaking their bones. They just don't eat enough. They don't supply their body with enough nutrients to stay strong. Yeah, this is wild. The question that's been huge in the last 4 years: what is a woman? These ladies are flirting with the boundaries of that. I mean, I would be curious. They're on the regiment. They're on the transition regiment to be a strong woman. It seems like at this level, you have to start transition. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's tantamount to that, identical. Fuck, I never even thought of that. 1-to-1. Like, hey, if you're a woman and you want to become a man, maybe you should pick up strongman as your sport, so you can kill two birds with one stone. You can go through transition and also be a professional athlete. Then I can see maybe some validity to it. Are you sure that's facts? What? I'm not talking about just doing strong woman. I'm talking about doing strong woman at this level. I'm not suggesting that lifting heavy shit is bad. I'm just I mean, it's just obvious that this shit is not good for you. I mean, look at these women's physiques. That's not even good for you. Those are facts. All right. I'll see you guys on the other side after event 5. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you guys soon.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so it can be very lonely. So it also takes a load on your mental health because you're always with the kids, you're always tending to other people, and here I can come and save an hour for myself. And the best part is my kids get to watch me. So they watch mom do her own thing, and I have my own hobby besides being just a mom. The community. You're being pushed, they root you on, they're proud of you, they keep you going. At a gym, that and the workouts. I don't want to like program my own workouts or anything like that. So you have people who lift heavier than you, but they're still proud of you for where you're at in your journey. So it really helps. Besides the physical aspect, it's very mental for me too. It's helped me with my mental health like drastically. Now I go to HEB or I go to the store and I see my community there. I run into people that I know and it just feels nice.